welcome to another episode of PeerTalk. Today, I have with me my co-host, Balgo right there, Bakari Bucks Pent CEO, and Sekou. By the way, Sekou is officially PeerTalk team member.
Fine.
And thank you so much, Sekou, for accepting this invitation. I can call it that way. And officially, I would say, welcome to PeerTalk.
Thank you. Appreciate the offer.
Yeah. So today our topic is going to be still a continuation of business opportunity, or some of the potential business opportunities in Africa, in Gambia in particular. And the last episodes, we actually brought someone here, somebody like you said yourself and the guy. We talk about some stuff, and today is just going to be the generalization of the business opportunities, because we all know Africa, especially Gambia, we can never exhaust business opportunities. There's a lot of business opportunities. There's a lot of gap when it comes to business. Technology, from technology to agriculture and everything else. And I believe that like I say before, one of my I used to be a prodigy, growing up. Means I used to hang out with a lot of grown people, and then this guy, he was in my neighborhood. He used to be a business guy. Like, he used to create this business cards and posters and stuff. And he started it with like a small room, small room. So I used to go there, and then hang out with him. He told me this, man, and till today it stuck with me, and I believe it. He said, in Gambia, whatever you do, just be serious. Even if you're selling ground, just be serious. The guy is from Sierra Leone, and man, later on, man, he grew, man. His business went like from that small room, and then the whole, where he was used to rent. He actually bought another block for another room, combined, and then wow, he was like. Later on, even we used to give him contracts, and he was big. He started driving cars, and then later he moved back to Sierra Leone. He got somebody there who was working there, Gambia, who was so I believe that.
So you have to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere. Yeah. So going further, man, we have this panel over here, brilliant young people over here, Today we're going to learn about it as usual. And I will start with you, Sekou. We all know, like, what kind of business opportunities, you think, is, something that one can venture in, especially people living in diaspora. If you have a capital, you have a business, even if you're in Gambia, you think it's something. Because my thing is we should control our economy. As a people, if you control your market, is going to be something that is going to be beneficial to everybody. Because the foreigners, we're not against them. You cannot say, as a people, you cannot say we don't want people to come over here. We moved out of there and we live somewhere else. And then, but then, the indigenous people should control the market, because the money is going to stay instead of going. So that's our thing. So what do you think, you have?
Yeah, so when it comes to business, like I said in the previous shows, Gambia, there's so many gaps.
Right.
It's difficult to actually, say, hey, everybody needs to invest into this specific area.
Right.
And I know that happens a lot, but there's a lot of areas. The way you would think about it is, what are some of the gaps in Gambia? If you go to vacation in Gambia, what are some of the services that are lacking in Gambia? So you need to identify these things, and then start to see, hey, can I fill this gap?
Right.
And then make some research about those things. And then for somebody who's living in the diaspora, that's how I would go about it. Look at the gaps. What can I do to fill these gaps? So many of them. You can count them now till the next morning. You can't finish it.
Yeah.
And if you can talk about technology, you can talk about other areas, hospitals, roads, and a lot of things. And when you say this, some of these things, like I said before, the government cannot do all of this. So individual citizens need to step up, and then come up with individual ideas, and then contribute to the economy. Yeah, but look at gaps. What are some of the things that you enjoy here that is missing in Gambia? You know, and if we list those things, I can say it will go up to like an hour.
Right.
You know, as simple as like the technology perspective. You know, as simple, for example, a lot of restaurants in the Gambia right now. You know, if you don't know about them, how do you go knowing about them? Somebody has to tell you, right? It's still word of mouth. But there is no application or no platform, you know, that can centralize those things. And these are local people. It's gonna actually accelerate their businesses. It's gonna help them if they can register on those local platforms. And then you order, go to them, somebody deliver for them. You know, virtual. People can be cooking from their home and stuff like that. You know, so all of those things are platforms that are not exhausted or don't even exist in the Gambia.
I think sometimes people think that we don't have the infrastructure, but I don't think that's necessarily the point or the case in every situation. Let's say, for example, what we're talking about, these are things that you can do and have their phone numbers.
Absolutely.
And like we would do it locally, you just call them and then they can give you directions to get to that place until we have, I would say, a satellite system, like GPS system, where places are addressed and we have maybe GPS to drive.
Navigate. So currently, because when I went to Gambia in last December, one thing I found out that if you miss Gambia for like 10, 20 years, when you go there, you're lost.
Yeah.
So even my own town is difficult to navigate around. So I downloaded a GPS before I go.
Right.
You can use that. You can use Google Maps.
In the Gambia?
In the Gambia?
In the Gambia.
Wow.
So all you do, somebody need to send a location to you on WhatsApp. I will just drive up to that. And they're surprised.
Wow.
They're surprised like, whoa, how did you get
Yeah,
here?
this happened to me in Gambia. Somebody told me to go somewhere. I was lost. So, you know, I have this. I went to my phone. I thought I was in America still. So that was like, so you said we can do that in Gambia?
You can do that in Gambia. I used GPS my entire time when I was there. All I do, if I go somewhere I'm lost, I just put Sukuda and then it just find a way out. Because if you look at it, the way GPS works, it works with satellites. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. In fact, any single point in Gambia, you have a coordinate on the GPS. People just don't know about it. In fact, I saw an article last week about one BBC journalist who was using similar, technology to find his way around. Because Gambia also doesn't have an addressing system, so that's also a limitation. But we can rely on GPS to accurately pinpoint where somebody's at. So you can integrate a GPS or Google Maps into a platform, which is a free service, and then again, people can send their location. You want to deliver something, people can send their location, and delivery doesn't have to be cars. It could be cycles,
bicycles,
it could be people,
motorcycles.
So these are all things we can collect. Especially during this COVID-19, that would have been very useful. A lot of people can have data. You can order something from a restaurant before everybody go there. 10, 20 people, you line up for an hour. You can order food and then you have to go. So it's going to help the local restaurants, but it would also help Gambians. It will be very convenient.
Navigate the country.
Wow, that's good, man. That's good information, man. But a lot of people maybe don't know this, you know what I mean? And then it's like somebody knows now that if you go to Ghana.
I know. I just tell you to send me a location.
Yep. So the easiest way to do it, and I just want to make this clear, because when you go technical, then you have to make things clear. Before you go, you can download a GPS. For example, you can download Google Maps. You can actually download it so it could be local. Because anytime you use it, you're going to use your data. So you can download Google Map locally. And then when you go to Gambia, in fact, it would allow you to download only Gambia's map in it, and then so you don't have to always use your data to go out. I
think some people might. That's a very good point, and also it's a very good idea, business idea, like building that website and all that stuff. Do you think it is necessary to go to school before you can start building your web, or you can just learn online? Because I know there are some online classes where you can, somebody can just teach you how to build your own website and our applications, and mobile applications.
I think one thing we all realize for the past 5, 6, 10 years is that when we go to school, high school, it's not like phone. Well, we have phone, but it's not like internet.
Right.
Today you go to YouTube. there is nothing there you want to learn that somebody is not there who is an expert in that field who can teach you. You can learn all these things in YouTube. You know, but again, it depends on you, the person. Are you hungry? You know, you have the interest to learn these things. So you have legitimate, you know, YouTube channels that will teach you these things as if they're taught in the school, or is as if, you know, you actually do work. Yeah. So you can learn it. Yeah. You don't necessarily have to go to school and then, you know, sit in the classroom and then learn these things.
I mean, as a Gambia, just sitting in the Gambia education system in Gambia, maybe a lot of, you know, institutions are not doing some of these, you know, application building classes or, you know, courses or something. So that's a good thing. You can leverage
absolutely.
And then get your education over there.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
I mean, education again, you know, also when you graduate, they say commencement. You just start. It's not like you go to school and then you quit. Oh, I'm done. No, you're not done. That's when you start. You know, a lot of times, even computer science, when you go through computer science school, the programming languages you learn, you will never use those at work. Meaning, when you go to work, you have to learn new things, the new way of doing things. So it's a continuous thing. You know, you have to upgrade yourself, reskill. That's the only way you can keep up with the market.
And I think another business opportunity, and actually it is a problem in Gambia. Sometimes people will not start businesses until they see someone started. And then you have influx of so many people investing in the same type of businesses. And when that is happening, it will be very wise to see what is lacking among those people. You don't have to necessarily do the same thing. Just like we say, looking at the poultry farming, like people are really investing into that area. And I think sometimes it will be good to have people who say, okay, these people have invested in this area, but they are lacking in storage. Let's say, for example, they don't have enough cold storages to keep their eggs. So instead of going into poultry, even though that's what you want to do, you can invest into cold storages where you can buy eggs from these people and then store it there, and then you can be a distributor. That's another good business right there.
You have a hatchery.
Yeah,
Food storage is a big one. How many foods go bad a day? A lot, you know.
A lot, and even mangoes, you know. Like if you go
all kind of food, especially perishable ones. You go buy so easily because you don't have this preservation.
Yeah, and sometimes I think it is not very expensive to start some of these things. Let's say, for example, mango. During mango season, we have wastage of a lot of mangoes. Like you don't have to have certain machines to do this. You can just take mangoes and peel them, dry them in the sun. You pack it and you can sell it. Because we know dry food. There is a time in the year when mangoes are and this can be a good time where you can sell the mangoes or even change them into powder, mango powder. Who knows?
Or mango juice, but that's a bigger one.
Mango powder, that's like lucky juice, because this lucky juice sometimes are nothing but azotites. They are chemicals. You know, so people are sometimes consuming those things, even though they test fruits, they have the fruit test, but they are not necessarily fruits. You know, but when you take a real mango and dry it, you know, pound it or grind it into powder, package it, that's natural, right?
That's very cool, man. Thank you so much for that. But
so
I'll come to you. So you are the man, like, cause like your story actually, you know, inspired me, all of you, but like the way you started your business, like you said before, you went to Gambia and then you started, you know, this is idea. You said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. And all that. What are some of the experiences you thinking of is, you know, out there?
Yeah, thank you for that. So, like you said, entrepreneurship is all about solving problems, like we always say. You go, you see a problem, you go look for a solution, you know, to fix that problem.
Right.
And in the process, you make your money, and then you're in business. You know,
that's right.
In business. So we have a lot of that in Gambia. Any sector that you look at, we are lagging behind. There are a lot of gaps in every sector in the Gambia. So, but like you said, I want to narrow it down a little bit to my area, that's construction. So I understand, like Gambia, everybody's building, like even here, all of us, we are all building. Everybody, the people working over there, the business people, the diaspora, it's like the country is under construction, it's booming. You know, so we have a lot of opportunities in the construction area. So like you said, myself, I supply paints, I try to fill that gap. But there are a lot of other gaps, like I said before, you know, people who do the construction itself, we need them. We need a lot of them. Because you don't want to build a house and you give it to, I don't want to discriminate, but you don't want to, you give it a local, somebody that you know, so you can also uplift the person too. So we need those people. We need carpenters, like I said, because every house after building you need furniture. You need furniture, you need beds and stuff. So we need a lot of carpenters. So imagine if you have, let's say, 100,000 houses in the Gambia. All of those houses need furniture. Who is going to provide those?
Yeah.
So there's a big opportunity in that area. So like I said, painting to this. And right now in the Gambia, I think we have only one company that is producing paint in the country.
When you say producing, what they mix?
Yeah, they call it packaging. Yeah, they do the mixing and stuff. It could do on a very small scale, but they are doing it.
That's good.
So, but majority of us are importing for now. So
Are they also making the raw materials in the Gambia?
No, they import the raw
So they are
material.
basically doing packaging in the Gambia.
No, they're doing yeah, you know, you have to have the raw material in order to do it, to do the final product. So that's what they do. They import the raw material, obviously, and they do it. So after that too, we have plumbing. All those houses need to have toilets. They need to have running water and stuff. So imagine the number of houses we have. And then these are not like only new houses. There are some houses who go under renovations. So they need all of that. We need a lot of plumbers in the Gambia. We need a lot of people who do the ceiling. You know, we have this new trend in the Gambia where everybody now want to
The white ceiling?
The white ceiling.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is a very tedious job, but if you take your time and have interest in it and learn it, you can make a lot of money.
So look at
A lot of money. So talking about that, we have electricians. All those houses need to be electrified. They need to, you know, wiring and fixing lighting. All those are big opportunities in the Gambia. So the only thing is, the unfortunate thing about Gambia is that most of us don't want to work with our
hands.
All what we want to do is to go to school and put on your tie, go sit in the AC, office and stuff. So, but if you step out of that zone, I call it a comfort zone. Step out of it a little bit. Think out of the box. You know, these things, they are skills, you know. You learn this.
Skills.
It doesn't take much. Even time, it doesn't take much of your time. What you do is just have the interest. You can still maintain your job. Maintain your 9 to 5, 8 to 4. But after that, then just go and learn the trade. Learn the trade. After learning the trade, you master the trade, then you open your own business, side hustle, like additional income.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
So after as time goes on, you obviously people get to know you.
Yeah.
You know, because you'll be doing quality job. You start getting business. You start getting customers. So when that happens, then you focus on the business. You might even quit this job and then focus full time and create a lot of jobs.
One thing my dad once told me, you know, man, that stuck with me. You know, he told me, whatever you do, try to have a skill job.
Skill job is very important. That's the problem.
Because he said you can be fired from your job. You know,
Any second.
But with your skills, no one.
Any second. I used to work with the bank. I used to work with the bank. They fire you any second.
Yes.
Little mistake, you are off.
Yeah.
So what you do is, without the skills, you go look for another job. Similar one.
Exactly.
But a skillful person, nobody can fire you from your job. You don't even have a
fire from the job.
Yeah, from the contract.
For someone.
Yeah, from the contract, but not from the job itself. Because you have the skills.
It's going to remain, right?
You know, the skills you always
I think that is dope, though. That is really huge. I would sometimes talk about money, how we are driven by money versus having survival skills. You know, if you look at money is something that somebody just rewards you for what you've done for them.
Right.
And they pay you. But sometimes by following that pattern, we tend to lose some of our skills, like survival skills. And an example I like to give is food, for example. You know, you can go to the store and buy food, right? And sometimes, and most of the times, I would say you are limited to the choices of food you can buy, or the quality of the choices of food you are buying.
Right.
And because we depend on that so much, sometimes you might be buying so much. So I would say that's very bad food because you have no choice. That's the only thing you have, and you want to eat at that moment. But if you can spare some time and grow your own products at home, you have some control over the quality of those products, and what you are consuming.
No doubt.
You know, so this is very important. And you know, there were many farmers before, you know, who have never been to school, you know, and I would say they were kind of successful looking at subsistence farming, right? And they send their kids to school instead of those kids to come back and follow the same trend and improve on where their parents stopped. We tend to choose to be somebody's employee. And I think that doesn't make sense. You know, we have to learn how to be independent and how to, I would say, work better in a way that we can improve or increase the efficiency of what our parents have been doing before. You know, if your dad was a farmer, you went to school, you have learned new technologies or new methods of farming, go back and improve on that and turn it into something like a unique business or something better or more than what your dad has been doing. Yeah, I think those are very important and they are things that we should think about too, you know. Talking about that, I think we also have to look into our attitudes towards business and our work ethics. You know, this is also a very big problem in Gambia. You will find, like I was talking earlier, about lawyers. Like you find lawyers who are very unprofessional and they don't even know how to treat their clients or their customers. You know, these are people that we expect a lot from them. But what you end up getting is really disappointing. Right? Some of them are very honest to you. Initially, they will talk to you and say, hey, I will take your case and work for you. After they receive that forced payment, they barely communicate to you. Or even if you try to talk to them, they pretend to be very busy. Right? They have so many cases. And my thing is, if you are busy and you know you can't do a particular work, be honest to that person. You know, or we find somebody else. And I think that will at least give you a better reputation than treating them that way. And this is not only limited to that area, but I think in many areas. So,
I mean, that's another piece of opportunity right there. Customer service. That's how weird, but customer service is a business opportunity that they're creating because everybody complain about that. You know, when it comes to African businesses, you know, you go there, you spend more time, like a longer time than the time you're supposed to spend to get whatever you want to get. Yeah, and then you know, if you have your business and then you implement a good customer service, you know, I mean, the business, you know, God knows, man, it's gonna be.
I think I can pitch in that area what he's talking about. So if you're in a business, you know, all of these things are inclusive. You cannot say, I'm a mechanic, but I don't do customer service. No, it doesn't work like that. Customers are paying your food and you live it. Including, you know, roof on top of your head. So if you're doing a business, maybe I should switch into my name. Business owner. You know, you feel will be happy. Mila time also. No, Gambia and Gambia sometimes it it's very embarrassing. It can have daldo into customer doing the pitigo, in mana time of function. You understand? It had daldo, you know, all this institutional do or individual killing like maybe hotel industry customer service.
This I'll give another example because most of the things I'm saying I've been through them. And even Buffalo, let me say it in Manica clearly. When I went to register my business, and now last time in Gambia, you cannot believe when I got into that office, they gave me a form and a form of refill. And actually, we started from Banjo, but the system was down, so we had to go to Canifing. And when we went to Canifing, they gave me the form, we fill out everything, and they still have the poster. You can register your business within a day. I think for $500. Okay, that is still there. Then do not know bakery. I don't know in Nakoruta and you pin na a form over. But from that process, you're going to go cassette in. You go cassette on the you're going to go to school. So what is the plan? You're going to go, you have to wait until he's here. Because so I have to sit down and wait for somebody. And that's the time I've been.
But not when
why would you even employ somebody who's going to school when there are many people who could have been employed? Or never work at a farm? Story with their money. We need that consistency. Those offices need to be working because people are not just coming there and begging money. Instead, I'm a customer. I'm paying you money to do a service for me. So if you are treating me like that, it's crazy. And again, I don't know. People who have been there, neither the form or submit, they will tell you to come back in 3 days. This is what they were doing. So my point is, why do you have this advertisement here? Oh, new manager since last year.
As an investor, you know, because investor when you mean visit Itakaya, you know, first impression is very important.
Exactly.
And sometimes when the banco, you know, bigger care about it, and we should, you know, because it's not only today, it's tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. when you multi as an investor, they go there. When you multi as an investor, they go there. All these little things you know, very
important.
You know, you go to the airport. You know, you go to some of these high institutions in the Gambia. You know, the way more kill a palazzo run yami or you can run yami. I think that's all you can fall into. You know, you will fall into saying a lot of people have confidence in the system. They can invest their money.
Yeah. So like we are talking about opportunities. So another area will be. Not skills for it. And the importance of skills.
And the skills. Okay, but let's talk about it because there's a lot of misconceptions. It's all elaborate. Okay, go ahead.
Misconceptions.
Yeah, because it can't go
more of the skillful people. And these are real people because you never bank samba.
Right.
Now men love bunyimal, they skilled people also.
Absolutely.
So but these are the people from Minango. They make a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, most of them got discipline on how to go about their things, not earning the huge amount, but they get a lot of money. So, but these are the same group of people. They don't, they look down on you like maybe mechanic, because I think sometimes could you make involved that because maybe more KJ because mechanical know you, so they look at you so but the moment the officer will be decent so because of that maybe I don't know maybe but these people make a lot of money. The other advantage they have is that no skills are you know not boundaries anymore. Yeah, anywhere in the world you go to you can work. You from the Gambia, you know America, you do the same kind of job because imam that's the skill you have. But let's say office anybody can do it. It's theory. Or maybe routine something. Every day you do the same thing. It's not even challenging. Yeah, it's not challenging. It's not challenging. You do the same thing every day. Yeah, every day. So I'm not challenging back.
Yeah.
So, but another man of time over another opportunity is tomorrow food. Like we've been saying, Bawaka is too big on that. Tomorrow may import Gambia. So that shows that opportunity. And Banka Bondi Banko Menka. Where we are importing from the kind of land you mentioned, the soil and everything, we have it. So, even better. Someone can import, especially rice, not staple food. That's the food everybody eat every day. That
shouldn't be subsistence. Just people should.
Don't you Gambia? Gambia. I don't know Gambia. Funga excess or export.
Yeah. And I love that topic. I'll go back to skills. Skills going for again. None of the one more skills for me value, and we should go back to value those.
Very important.
But more phenomenal when you skills also the nature sometimes in the behavior.
That's what I
towards their customers is very, very wrong. So come more like a mason. Right? I tell a code I tell you link it. I tell you for days. So when you take a file, customer business go for them. Honesty, Tonya for more. Get him somebody. Exactly.
I think Momo Gambia, there's 80% chance go the next minute you don't see them. You call them. So it's a business alone, now integrity, you know, truth in loyalty. Business could be. Guess what? Someone did not there. And then more fine. And the
sad thing is, it other for beliefs of mature of funny. They have the stigma on them. It's not there. I model that at the time of my opinion. Because it's like we focus more. Sales is very important. New entrepreneurs, if you cannot do sales, you cannot do it.
But quickly, so we don't quickly maintain the situation. I want you to elaborate on this because on this a little bit because we are talking to our diaspora and brothers and sisters as well, you know, and we are encouraging them to invest back home. So we was talking about it, and then you said one thing that I think is very important for a lot of people to know, to understand that if we invest in back home, try not to invest in. You have to test people.
You test people. Yeah, because more than bad experience. So many people in the diaspora they have bad experience because young men right now is like so many people want to do business. They have ideas. The sole problem is the people you're gonna work with on the ground.
Right.
Because model experience means like you start a business with somebody, you could do the other. within a year, probably
Yeah.
because of that bad experience, either you will give up. But no, I'm never gonna.
And you don't advise anybody.
So what we advise on that part is you start small. Look for somebody now. Amari skill set sort of. Skill is very important. What if I right like the person is right for the business. But if you hire the wrong person, it's always a problem.
Yeah,
and most of us, what we tend to do is we want to work with the family.
Yeah.
Sometimes your family is not the right person. You work with somebody different. Family from but I right from person. You start with them small. Give them little money. Yeah, but I'm not in business or start, but let's start with this and then let's see how it will go. So now that I feel successful, then you can invest more.
Yes, man. We have to repeat this. I know the part is very important. Thank you so much, man. We don't have much time right now. And then people in the diaspora, like he said, don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up on bad experience.
I believe that in order for us to have a financial independence as a society, we need to control our market and our economy. And the only way to do it is for us to invest. So let's encourage each other and invest, and then don't give up if you fail. Failure is not an option. Try again, keep trying again. And then thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you, the team, and thank you again, Sekou. And we will say bye for now.